A very good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILE Cast only on West Nile Television, where we give you the highlights of the news bulletins of the week every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumringa Christine. Let's dive straight into the stories that made headlines throughout the week. Muslims from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India, Obongi, Mbale, Yumbe, Jinja, Arua, Gulu, and other parts of the West Nile region and Uganda at large had on the 17th of December 2023 concluded the 3 days Ijtima Islamic seminar with a prayer in Yumbe district. Osuta Yusuf has more.
The 3 days Ijtima, whose orientation on Islamic faith and prayer session at the closer headed by the regional Amir of Islamic religion, Sheikh Adam Okwa, attracted over 11,311 Muslims across the world. Mr. Izamaham Nizami, who enjoined thousands of his fellow Muslims in attending the Ijtima, described it as an event that prepares people spiritually for life after death.
So when you attend that thing, it gives you a lot of strength in your faith. You will be able to differentiate the life here and the life after. So when you deal with the people, you deal very, very carefully. You will not want to actually offend someone. You know, you will feel when you have a problem with another person, it has to be resolved before you die. So I have treated it important because even the nature of the prayer, the lady there, you saw it. Some people were crying, others were doing.
Sheikh Drigo Muhammad Adam, who happens to be one of the attendants of the 3 days seminar, upon briefly narrating the importance of Ijtima, said one of the purposes of Ijtima is for Muslims to come together and share ideas. He also explained another importance of Ijtima as an occasion for Muslims to know each other within and across the world.
Ijtima is a gathering of Muslims in one place to come and remember Almighty for the deeds of Almighty. And secondly, to unite Muslims, to unite their hearts for worshiping Almighty. And how you as a Muslim, how do you look in front of people? How do you appear? Your talks, your dressing, the way you behave with the people. This is the importance of Ijtima. The importance of Ijtima unites all Muslims to love each other. You know, in Islam, Prophet Muhammad Sallam said in a hadith, authentic hadith, that a Muslim brother have to love his Muslim brother like he loves his body. What you want for you, you have to want it for your fellow brother, Muslim brother. So, Ijtima is to go and unite the soul, the heart of Muslims, which means it is a gathering of different types of people to come and share one idea of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how Prophet Muhammad was doing. That's why you see Islam, it starts with the Prophet Muhammadun sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The fifth reason for the Muslims to gather together is to go and know each other. White one, black, red, different colors to gather together, so they build their unity in God or in Allah's path. So a Muslim in America will know, hey, we have Muslims in Yumbe. Those of Yumbe will know we have Muslims in Pakistan. Those of Pakistan will know we have Muslims in Congo.
One of the attendants of the Ijtima, Mukhtar Marjan Guma, has requested the Muslim leaders to continue organizing such seminars yearly in order to bring youth near to avoid them going astray.
This is the thing that is in fact helping the Muslim youth. They go and they attend, they get the Islamic attendance, they get the Islamic words, they In fact, they go they from the Ejitima, other people they go away for preachings. They go for 3 days. Others go for 40 days. Others go for 4 months. They go to the various places to preach. It's so marvelous. It is very nice. It helps a lot in the Islamic area. So at least the organizing, we are encouraging our leaders to go with it every year, to encourage our youth to avoid youth to go astray, because when youth they come out from the school, at least they need to be kept busy for doing other things. So that is one of the parts we are providing for them. As a Muslim leaders, we provide it for our youth to continue in that area, so that they get Iman, which is the faith. They forget about robbing people, doing other contrary things. It helps a lot in Islam.
Osita Yusuf, National Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories. The International Crime Division Court of Uganda charged Thomas Coelho, the former Lord Resistance Army commander, with 78 out of 93 counts. Thomas Coelho, who has been in court for the last 13 years and has been on remand since 2009 when he was arrested by the Uganda People's Defense Force from the Democratic Republic of Congo, is facing 93 counts, which include war crimes, crimes against humanity related to sexual violence, murder, kidnapping, pillaging, and enslavement to torture. Stephen Okello from Gulu has more.
During a court session which was presided over by 4 judges from the International Crime Division Court in Gulu City, the former Lord Resistance Army commander, Thomas Coelho, have been charged with 74 counts.
Exceptional count 46 with the repetition provide the accused has a case to answer in respect of the remaining 78 counts of order that he shall make force to his defense on those counts.
The court also acquitted Thomas Coelho with 15 counts, which also include murder, crime against humanity, and many others.
59 and 83, the accused has no case to answer and is hereby acquitted on those counts.
After the ruling, the defense lawyer asked court to give them time to consult their client, gather evidence to come back and defend the accused on the 78 counts levied on him.
So the accused has requested us that we get the ruling, copy of the ruling, we get a copy of the charge sheet, we sit down with him, we go through those 78 charges, and we also remember some of these things which took place in court, and we also guide him on where he has not remembered.
Ivan Ocheng, the prosecution lawyers, says this does not mean the defense team have lost the case. It has relieved them from other burdens.
So as a defense, it's a reduced burden for him, and we believe that he will be able to explain himself. And I also want you to understand that when court finds that he has a case to answer, it doesn't mean that he has lost the case. It just means that the prosecution, through the witnesses they brought, there are some aspects where court feels that he should give a defense, he should explain.
Jacqueline Okwi, the Public Relations Officer, Directorate of Public Prosecution, a government arm that charged Thomas Coelho to the International Crime Division Court, says this is the first time DPP is undertaking such a high-level case in Uganda.
This morning, the High Court, the International Crimes Division, has ruled that 78 charges out of 93 charges had sufficient evidence and therefore put Coelho Thomas on his defense in respect to these 78 charges, meaning that the prosecution was able to adduce substantial evidence to prove to the required standard these 78 charges.
Jacqueline also added that the 15 case lost was because of the few challenges the prosecution had encountered during the court process, which took more than 10 years.
And this was because A number of our witnesses died. Some of them relocated. You know, at the time that this case was investigated, most of the victims or witnesses were in IDP camps. So by the time the case came up for trial, these victims and witnesses had relocated. So it became very difficult to get them to come and testify in court. We also had the challenge of some of the witnesses losing their memories, and then others, by the time of the hearing of the case, they were of advanced stage and they couldn't really come to testify in court.
In 2009, Thomas Kwawyelo was accused of sexual violence, murder, hostage-taking, and kidnapping, robbery, among others, allegedly committed between 1993 and 2005 in Pabo Sub-County, Amur District. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories. One person was confirmed dead and 12 others were hospitalized after they consumed charms administered to them by a witch doctor in Padoti Sub-County, Nebi District. Take a look.
The deceased, only identified as Gilbert Owashi, 32 years, was pronounced dead at Angal Hospital, where 12 of the victims are currently admitted, while one person is receiving treatment at Midere Health Center 3. According to Dennis Opeo, Chairperson Local Council 3, Padot Sub-County, the witch doctor, who is yet to be identified, came from Lera and was invited by one Carlo Ometom to help him recover his 17 herds of cattle stolen from his kraal located in Lojudongo, Nyaravurangal Town Council. Opeo further revealed that the witch doctor, upon doing his work, he forced some residents to swallow traditional herbs, which later paralyzed them and rushed to Angal Hospital and Midere Health Center 3, respectively.
We are saddened by the demise of our brother, who really ate charm brought by these local traditional doctors, the so-called Ajoga. We had a farmer in our community called Carlo. He lost about 17 herds of cattle. The last one was on the 12th of this December. And after losing all these herds of cattle, he brought this traditional doctor to work his charm to bring the cattle he lost back, or to help him trace the person who is really stealing the cattle. So it was unfortunate that the traditional doctor he brought from very far distance, that side of Lira, and this traditional doctor, on his arrival, he started giving some seeds of some trees which we cannot identify easily, but the seeds, those who consume it, those who consume big number of it, these are the people who are really badly off. They are unconscious. They have all lost their senses, and it was unfortunate that this morning we lost one in Angal General Hospital, but the number who are admitted there, who are really critically ill, are 12 in number, and one is admitted in Padwot Media Health Center 3. But my humble appeal is going to our elders of Padwot, that whenever such happen again next time, I'm requesting that they have to be very keen. They have to make sure they follow the procedures the elders, the four grandfathers have been doing.
Muse Raymond Anecho, the clan elder where the incident happened, said it is unfortunate that his people were forced to swallow traditional herbs. Anecho, who also tested the herbs, said that the witch doctor performed his miracle to recover the lost cattle, but in vain. Meanwhile, Julius Mugombesha, Operations Commander, Nibi Central Police Station, who rushed to the scene, confirmed that security personnel have been heavily deployed to stop angry residents from looting other properties of Carlo Omito, who is suspect and currently detained at Nibi Central Police Station to help police with investigations into the matter.
Here, let us take a proper channel of handling the issue which is now on the table.
Donc ebe kwa wun sheke ma wunika keni niya ya wa lube yore matera pineno kinmora mo kani dar ko lembe ma dar kani wo kindo eni.
Let us not take all those into our hands because you have that pain and you go this way because the houses, crops, animals on the village.
Donc e washo niya ya kodi watinge shik ishingwa koni kungeshu mwotie kodo jimoko beshi ai gishigesha katima yeki gi echa dong shik tiu kudi bedorach.
Because by now you are following proper channel. Again you go against what you are following, again you start running away from your home and yet you are on the proper channel. The ways of these people who are in the hospital be taken to better hospital right now. We are mobilizing now ambulances to come and they take them in the better hospital.
Because
we are alliance with the district, RDC, Chairman 5, they see how we can assist our brother who are in the hospital, be referred to the better hospital to get a better medication.
In the meantime, Dr. Patrick Komakech, who is handling the victims, said the health conditions of the victims are unpredictable and advised Nibi district health officials to refer them to a regional hospital for further management.
From our hospital here. Yeah, yesterday we received 13 patients claimed to have been charmed by witch doctor. Which up to now we have not yet gotten any clear history, but they came when they're all unconscious and confused. Some were confused, some unconscious, but we have tried to manage some of them. However, they are not responding to treatment. They are not responding to our medical treatment. So far as I talk now, we lost one this morning. The rest are still there, just very confused, and they are doing certain gestures. Some are behaving like they are eating, some are behaving like they are counting money, talking uncoordinated words. Yeah, so basically that is it, but there is no much improvement as I talk now. Yeah, thank you.
When our reporter visited the victims at Angal Hospital this morning, all the victims are unconscious, unable to identify their relatives and their conditions worry most people in Paduot Sub-County, Nebi District. Only one person, Carlo Omito, the owner of the cattle, has been arrested and the body of the deceased was conveyed to Nebi General Hospital for post-mortem. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories. As the operationalization of the implementation of the first phase of the Executive Order number 3, 2023 gets into week 3, so far 4,691 cattle have been impounded from the districts of Gulu, Amuru, Nyoya, Pader, and Lamo in Acholi sub-region and Apache in the Lango sub-region. Stephen Okello from Gulu has more.
As the joint security team intensify their operation while implementing the Executive Order number 3 of 2023, the region has started seeing the number of animals living.
3,386 have exited the region. What is being held in the temporary holding grounds are 1,306.
The minister also explained that Lango sub-region have registered smaller number of Balelo cattle keepers compared to Acholi. That explains why the variation is like in the operations and the number of cattle exiting each region.
Apache is easy because they just cross Lake Hyoga. That is why they have 1,596. But also Otuke, not very many.
Recently, the Uganda People Defense Force Deputy Spokesperson Colonel Deo Akiki joined the security on ground to ensure clean and smooth implementation of this first phase of the eviction order.
Like here you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, but we have seen where you will find only 3 wires or maybe 2 wires. And then you see the way the sticks, the way these poles are put. At least you can say this one can survive and the cow cannot cross.
On his first day, in the first field, Colonel Deo Akiki took UPDF soldiers, police, joined with other security organs, including Office of the Guru District Resident District Commissioner.
One has not complied, is not compliant. As you can see, we had some people cutting there trees, which are not even the best trees to make the fence. This one, a cow can pass through and go. So this is one of the areas we shall have to take the animals.
Alfred Opio, District Veterinary Officer, Gulu District, explained the process they use to ensure all the evicted animals are out of the region. According to Opio, all the evicted animals are escorted up to Karumba Bridge.
That all these animals are escorted by the police and the army until after the Karumba. That's where after the owner of the vehicle, the owner of the animals are given the permit. So while from here we issue the permit, we give it the hand of the police who sits in the trucks. They escort up to Karuma Bridge. Then from there they issue the permit to the animal's owner and then they proceed beyond Karuma.
Opeu said 90% of 94 kraals in Palau sub-county are not complying to what is in the executive order. He explained how these herdsmen have been fooling the local leaders, saying most of them have not completed fencing their land.
Most of our findings, we had seen that the fencing is not all that complete. You either get L shape, that means along the roadside, what we call the I fence. They do fencing along the roadside where people see. Either L shape or L shape is the trend would follow the roads, either the roads or the footmark where people moved. That's the nature of the fence, how it is. But in most cases, the other side is normally open. You either get L shape, you either get a U shape. So that's most of the fencing.
The Office of the State Minister for Northern Uganda has also set up a complaint desk to receive and process complaints relating to the implementation of Executive Order Number 3 of 2023. This is for compliance management, which is essential in this process. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories, the public in West Nile region have been urged to ensure food security and use the available food sparingly to avoid food crisis after the festive season. This remark was made by Mr. Anyama David, the Moyo District Community Development Officer. Take a look.
December is usually the month of gathering harvest and also doubles as the season for feasting, commonly known as the festive season because of Christmas and New Year, which are mainly the month for enjoyment, where many tend to overspend the little they have but end up suffering after the festive season. Mr. Anyama David, the District Community Development Officer Moyo, urged the public to be conscious and use the available foodstuff they have harvested during this period sparingly so as to avoid food crisis in the families, since most people in the region have the tendency of wasting food in the names of the festive season but end up regretting afterwards.
The year is coming to an end, and as the year ends in this district, Moyo district, we normally harvest a lot of food around this time, and in most cases this food is being wasted. People cook a lot and others are not kept in a good place. Storage of food is poor, the rate of use is also poor, and as Christmas comes, everybody wants to put on a new cloth, so people sell, buy clothing, drink, others, they are happy. But when January comes, food is not there. People again beginning to struggle. So my advice is, let us harvest this food, we store very well, we sell sparingly, so that we have enough to use throughout the year.
Honorable Asusi JB Sam, the Secretary for Production and Finance, Moyo District Local Government, re-echoed the same appeal to the public and urged the public to desist from the act of cooking too much food in their homes, which end up being poured out to roaming animals, yet the animals have their own feeds, hence leading to wastage of food, which in the long run causes hunger in the district.
And the year is coming to an end. It is dry season. I want to appeal to my people in the Moyo district and Western Ireland at large that once it is coming dry season like this, most farmers don't take care of their food items in the house. I want to appeal to every household in Uganda and Western Ireland in particular to reserve food. People should not be extravagant in preparing food.
Mr. Jugo P. Raphael, a field officer working with Moyo Farmers Association, called upon the farmers to avoid selling all their produce during the festive season and urged the farmers to do valley farming so as to improve on food security in their communities.
So at this time, my advice to farmers is let's use the food we have stored already, sparingly, and at the same time, the little we plan to sell, let's not sell it this time, or sell it as little as you can, so that after this festive season, I know everybody will be on hangover. So the hangover should not lead us to thinking outside the box, bringing a lot of stress, and people should know the climate change is real. You never know when it will start raining. Rain has just stopped. People should use valley bottoms to have greens, to have sweet potatoes. Mainly, I do appreciate people in Marcha, because at the time of scarcity, you will see people are buying sweet potatoes in Marcha district. That's one aspect of fighting food insecurity at our community level.
Most farmers in the district and beyond tend to get overexcited after realizing good yields, especially during the festive season, and this too much excitement in most cases tend to make the farmers to be extravagant while spending their food stuff, with others ending up selling their produce cheaply during the festive season, and others end up drinking the money they get from the sales and later remain in crisis after the festive season. It's therefore upon this background that some of the stakeholders in the district deem it necessary to sensitize the public about food security so as to put an end to unbecoming behaviors which can cause hunger among the communities. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu for West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories. Restitute Team Uganda, a non-governmental organization working in the West Nile region, has donated and assorted relief items to vulnerable people, including elders and widows in Zombo Town Council and other sub-counties of Zombo District. Take a look.
Vulnerable people, including elders and widows in Zombo Town Council, Zombo District, Atoma and other sub-counties, have a reason to celebrate their Christmas after receiving bags of rice, salt, beans and clothes from Restitute Rete Uganda to help them celebrate Christmas like other people. Since the vulnerable people have been struggling to make the day colorful, Rete Uganda conducted a baseline survey early this year to generate money to build the hope of the elderly people, where they can also have a nice and enjoyable environment with energetic persons. Sabir Abima, The executive director at Uganda, while handing over the relief items this afternoon at Zombo Upper Primary School in Zombo Town Council, Zombo District, told our reporter that they have selected 200 vulnerable persons to cram themselves into the 3 days remaining to mark Christmas celebrations. According to Abima, this circumstance is what spurred the organization to set up a fundraising event in order to raise money and buy the assorted relief items, where Mike Anyolito, District Councillor, Zombo Town Council, was the main guest of honor.
We had 1,300 population that is sampled for only elderly people and widows. That is what we relied on. Elderly and the widows that are in these 3 wards. Only we are going to take 200 out of the 1,300 to start with. Manager said this is a pilot project. That means more is yet to come.
Speaking during the handover of donated items, Hofni Jakwonga, Programs Coordinator at Uganda, expressed his appreciation for the prompt contribution and expressed worry about the elderly persons being left out by their relatives. Jakwonga reaffirmed his resolution as an organization to assist in charity help. He declared that he intended to keep up this support for raising the bar for the well-being of elderly persons in Zombo District.
Nguma gishundu itien gigi majulungu NGOs machalung Restitute Team Uganda gitimu pin majulungu project project ni gibegi binu kunying matungtung mubino men julunge fila project matelembene dog muchel jo watunya financial and health inclusion, lands and economic right. Dog mamuanya ya fila project enu banana le mamako kom lem mamua wano dana mawate ginen ke judongo ebinu iu judongo kende ini design ne banana le mamako kom yot kum then di ku lembe palim ku yot kum ni pinya shell mo wanenya wano dana mawate ngini de wapini lembe ne wande kujuwe kwa wapedi ikilema dano batimu chalo jaluru wanya lemlengo mipa shinde bedi jodongo mwa juwe kogi juwenjo gi kedong wana wiya makono wanya ya wati dano mwati ni kum jodongo mamwa gipidu wa gikendu wa gite wesomo don kudwa wegi ele mukelu waneni eni.
The contribution from Rete Uganda was praised by Christina Kumu, the representative of the elderly persons in the district. She stressed that the donation will help them to enjoy Christmas and New Year celebrations respectively.
Urido wano obedo moso nge odonia wado jogwe kisika bombo bomba don tin anyonga benegwa asagane iwilema eni ber parestic maudaro ni timu iwa odwoki ufo fosha.
Abraham Okech and other beneficiaries thanked Rete Uganda for delivering the promised items on time, acknowledging that other politicians do not follow through on their promises.
Ati dano mi Zombo District, bakati Zombo West, makawana ti IAN. Bero ma government ba meu iwa, achia leme mwapa sako, mwabe temi pa cheni, utie. Watimu saving neke, chalo ana Abraham abe konye parakunga, akonyo ko mama gore cha. Achunga kare kakonye, piano nge gore ti pa cho abe temi kakare. Ma ana gena foe nikom etie pin mana ka chan bodwa make dengo dok ber me kelo ma kolop kitela ma eni tela ma mo binu ma village mi pash ma mo piretek ber me bine ma chen kelo ma gilokri kelo gibine na ndanya nyo be teme ngo wabe teme ingete ba furde wa woti ingete ba saving wa woti pien chalo an ma goro ma ka chunga kare matek o pacho para ma be chungi wiye.
Research indicates that Zombo District has the biggest population of older persons in West Nile region, but few of them have been enrolled to benefit from SAGE programs and other programs. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And with that, viewer, that marks the end of the NILE Cast on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest